Founded in 1984 in Los Angeles, California, at its peak stood 460 retail stores around the world, 32,800 employees with locations in over 57 countries, making over $4.4 billion in revenue. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome once undoubtedly the most dominating brand in the fast fashion retail and its history, Forever 21. The business became Forever 21 Incorporated, was formed in 1984 by Won, also known as Don Chang, and his wife Jin Sook Chang. Don had immigrated into the United States from South Korea in 1981, and according to Entrepreneur magazine, he worked 3 jobs to save up enough money to open up the very first store. Originally called Fashion 21, this first store was a mere 900 square feet, was located on Figueroa Street in Los Angeles, California. Over the next few years, Don opened up more stores, and eventually the chain was renamed to what we know it as today, Forever 21. Don named himself CEO of the new company, while his spouse ultimately took over the merchandising. Their goal was to bring new fashion to the working masses at an extremely low cost. While other clothing companies sourced products abroad to keep costs down, Forever 21 preferred to work with domestic manufacturers. This allowed the company to get the latest fashions on the shelves well before its other rival competitors. The first mall-based store was opened in 1989. By the time the company had over 11 locations and averaging around 5,000 square feet, were all located within the California region, and until 1995, which then opened its very first store in Miami's Mall of Americas. By the end of the decade, Forever 21 had opened over 100 stores, some of them ranging up to 9,000 square feet, and the company introduced its very first Forever XX1 concept in 2001. Situated in the major metropolitan areas such as Los Angeles, Miami, Chicago, these new flagship stores were very large, averaging around 24,000 square feet. So the Forever 21 brand is divided into 8 sub-brands, all broken up by style, but housed in the same oversized Forever 21 stores ranging from over 900 square feet, which is the smallest, to over 160,000 square feet, which was some of the largest. The average Forever 21 stores are around 38,000 square feet. For some of those sub-brands include 21 Forever, Forever 21 Girls, Love 21 Contemporary, Forever 21 Plus, 21's Men's, and they all revolve around different styles of fashion for different groups and different people. For example, Forever 21 Girls is a transformation from the original 21 Forever brand to be more suited towards a younger, more preteen audience. Now, this line focuses on popular design specifics to the emerging preteen market, and especially their sizes. Now, the Forever 21 Plus brand, a contemporary line of a woman designed specifically for plus-size customers. Now, this line allows more curvaceous women to wear the same clothes as the rest of the Forever 21 shoppers, and at the same Forever 21 price point. Now, let's talk about the next acquisition that Forever 21 had in 2005, which was Zook, the clothing line that usually sells casual clothing, accessories, and shoes from 16 to 22-year-old women. The next one is 21 Men, formerly known as Heritage 1981 Men's, the Forever 21 line designed and tailored specifically for men and who are also in their mid-20s. Now, the next one we're going to be talking about here is For Love 21, a French boutique-styled accessory, a store with women's jewelry, shoes, handbags, cosmetics, and much, much more. Okay, and now we're going to be talking about Heritage 1981. This particular line attempted to the brand to penetrate the mid-market of consumers with a more urban feel. This line lends itself to competing less with the big-name fashion houses and their designs, but more that would be something you'd find in an Urban Outfitters. What we're going to be talking about next is Forever 21 Lingerie. The intimate lingerie line launched in 2007. Right after that, they launched Forever 21 Red, which was launched in 2015. This brand's extensions caters to more price conscious and focuses on selling core groups of clothing compared to the huge number of styles in some of their other lines. This line also includes men's and children's clothing. And the last one that we're going to be talking about is Riley Rose. Managed by the founders, daughters Linda and Esther Chang, Riley Rose is the brand's latest foray into the beauty and house items sector. The brand offers a wide variety of Korean beauty and natural skincare, sparkling makeup from both understated and established brands. as an impressive assortment of their hair and candy, small accessories, and whimsical home goods. An important point of differentiation, and from most of their other beauty stores, the very first Riley Rose store opened in Los Angeles in October of 2017, followed by another 11 stores which were opened between then and March of 2018 across the United States. The brand is specifically targeted for millennials and Generation Z consumers, as they seem more bright, lit up stores, pink color themes, and spaces designed for taking photos and sharing them on social media. Now, Riley Rose has also launched an e-commerce shop as of February of 2018. The large and often overwhelmingly oversized Forever 21 stores had already been present in almost every continent. The department store-sized locations for all Forever 21s were specifically catered to brands to be sold under one roof. Their ability to target consumers and maintain a store of overflowing with different style stems from their successful branding and from the buy it now culture. Fresh merchandise arrived every single day, in contrast to similarly modeled stores like Zara, where new merchandise arrived only once to twice a week. Now, a typical store would roll over around 20% of their stock in any given week, and this constant turnover is key to the chain's appeal. Now, if you like something, you have to buy it now, because you may never see anything like it ever again. Now, let's talk a little bit about Forever 21's production time. Forever 21's strengths lies largely in the production model. Typically, mid-market competitors need somewhere around 3 to 6 months to take an item from the time it's designed to the time it's on a rack. Forever 21, the cycle is reduced literally to 2 to 3 weeks. Forever 21's a large fashion house's designs allow them to produce these new items quickly and immediately after the season's latest styles hits the runway or trade shows. They would be duplicated by companies, journeyman designers from all around the world, and often arrive on shelves even before the originals ever did. So if Forever 21 launched their online shopping site early on, cognizant of the e-commerce trends, and that was booming during the early 21st century. Today, a large proportion of their sales comes from its websites, and it's able to reach a wider geography of its consumers. Also realizing the increasing influence of mobile, Forever 21 launched a mobile application which consumers can make purchases from, as well as rate the brand on a scale of I like it to not my style. Allowing the team behind the apparel design to understand consumers and the ever-changing tastes and preferences, especially in such a volatile world of retail fashion. This also results in reduced spends on a mass production of items that may not be popular with their target fashion consumers. Now, reaping twice the result from its marketing spend, which in my opinion is an absolute genius play on Forever 21's part. Now, that may sound impressive, am I right? But what could have possibly gone wrong? Forever 21 uses identical designs to other brands, designers, and production factories, which causes them to continually face lawsuits for copying the physical patterns of their designs. These content privacy lawsuits may shed some negative light on the owners, but yet affect the company's revenue, particularly because the Forever 21 customer base continues to get the expensive design at an unbelievably cheap price. Now, let's talk about the biggest glooming topic of this entire video. Okay, let's talk about some of the key factors of what was once an empire and is today the biggest failure. The biggest thing that I could talk about is online competition. Along with fashion competitors such as H&M, Zara, Forever 21 helped popularize fast fashion in the early 2000s by hawking at trendy, affordable clothes before they had even made it off the runway. But the company struggled to keep the pace of what is mostly the millennial shoppers, where they shifted their spending from in-person to the online internet fashion retailers that have completely come out and destroyed companies like London-based ASOS, as well as e-commerce powerhouses like Amazon. There are risks in the fast fashion business model. There is less margins for error, and particularly as companies grow, if retailers misread the trends, they end up with the wrong inventory positions at higher volume, says Greg Portell, a leading partner at the consulting firm A.T. Kearney. That's what he said in an email. For years, Forever 21 aggressively expanded its store footprint in shopping malls, and even as foot traffic dwindled, it also opened up many big box format-like locations. Despite the overhead cost, Forever 21 has about $500 million worth of debt, according to the market research firm Mintel. The retailer actually plans to slash costs by closing many of its stores in North America and retreating from markets like Asia, Europe, which goes to show how much they actually overcommitted with all of these pricey locations. The company, which filed eventually for Chapter 11 protection, said its plans to restructure and eventually emerge from court supervision. In order to get the business back on track, lenders would have to be willing to pump more money into it, and this could be a hard sell, says Shayna Barham, retail analysis from Mintel. Now let's talk about the real cliche here. Cheap chic is no longer in fashion. Forever 21, named by founder Duong Chan so shoppers can feel forever young, also fell out of style as the younger shoppers increasingly demand higher quality goods at an even lower price. Now, fast fashion retailers have faced criticism from the fashion industry's toll on the environment. Apparel and footwear production accounts over 8% of the entire global greenhouse gas emissions, according to a 2018 report by Qantas. The retailer, which is known to help high schoolers dress in their favorite celebrities, is also facing lawsuits from people like Ariana Grande, who sued the company for around $10 million for allegedly lifting the concept of the color scheme from her recent album, Thank You Next, without her approval. Forever 21 lost touch with their niche, one of the biggest mistakes, in my personal opinion, that they made. Finding and defining your niche is essentially in building a company, and maintaining your focus is the key to any company's growth. Forever 21 built its empire by producing a unique line of products for an undeserved niche. The hyper-focus led to a quick success and rapid growth, which eventually came to a halt at the company's failure to maintain its core connection. Instead of creating unique products for trendy teenage girls, they added a men's line, a plus line, a curvy line, a beauty line, and then eventually a girls line. They spread themselves too thin, and they tried to serve too many different niches, so much so that their brand started to seem really disjointed and extremely confusing. When creating your own company's growth strategy, think about the ways you can expand the products of your current offering to your existing customer base. It can be extremely tempting to view a broader product focus as appealing to a wider range of customers, but if it's not done well, the real outcome is that the brand no longer truly identifies with itself. The largely successful company Nike, which started off as a simple shoe store, is a classic example of a company that was able to foster rapid growth while maintaining its very original niche. Instead of creating a dress shoe or high heels in order to appeal to a broader audience, they launched a clothing line and an accessory line that channel the athleticism which underpins the essence of the entire Nike brand and makes them appealing to their target market. One of the big things that I think Forever 21 missed is they actually neglected their customer experience. As social beings, we are constantly relying on our emotions, experiences to shape our opinions. We just don't want to have a great product placed within our hands. We want to feel a satisfaction and personal interaction, the desire from watching commercials, the calmness of an effortless online order, and finally the pure bliss of owning the product. Forever 21 reached the point when every physical store seemed too understaffed and in a constant state of clutter. And the website is a chaotic model of sales styles that fail to lead the clear choice. In other words, why would a person benefit from engaging in your customer experience rather than your competitors? You should be asking that literal question every single day at every single touch point you establish, whether it's offline or online. Now, online stores, customer service, physical stores, and everything in between. A bit of a cautionary tale, as I must say. Unfortunately, we saw with Forever 21, not every business will follow a picture-perfect storyline that ends in a happily ever after. To ensure the longevity of business, it's your job to periodically revisit the origins of your company and your roadmap. Your business plan is more than just a starting point. It's a living document that needs to be revisited regularly, updated constantly, and especially when you learn how your target market is working. what their changes are, and what your consumers' end shifting model. Incorporating the revision process into your routine will reestablish core values that align not only with you, but also your niche and drive a positive customer experience within your company. Now, Forever 21 has been saved from bankruptcy by 3 major buyers who want to expand internationally. Their new owners, the Authentic Brand Group, Simon Property, and Brooksfield Property, also want to keep open most of the chain's 448 United States locations. Now, the fact that Forever 21 has a fighting chance because of the 3 new investors that have come in and potentially going to take them out of Chapter 11, what I would suggest is Forever 21 at the top of the retail industry, all they needed to do, in my personal opinion, is keep to their niche. The biggest mistake that I see most of my clients come in and make is they want to take one offering and start adding multiple things just so they can increase more revenue. Now, what they did phenomenally was they used their target audience where they tried to go down the mobile route earlier, as we mentioned in the video, and the like it or not like it option that they came out with was very, very smart because it was literally taking and emulating what the most giant tech app in the dating space came out, which was Tinder. They used that exact model. Now, using things like that, getting to understand surveys at the end of your end consumers, there's brands in today's day and age, companies like Gymshark that have gone from a basement-driven clothing company to an absolute conglomerate in the United Kingdom and a worldwide renowned brand today, valued at around $1.6 billion in a very short amount of time. These companies literally took exactly what they knew, who their target market was, who their niche audience was, and who they were going after, and just doubled down and continually build in that space. If Forever 21 did exactly that, leveraging the power of social, leveraging the power of influencers, keeping to know exactly what they wanted to go after from the day they started and to where they are today, I can almost guarantee you Forever 21 would have saved themselves from going completely sideways and not having these brands come in and buy them. Now, that being said, Forever 21 has another life. Now let's see what these new investors come in and help them do, because at the end of the day, the biggest shift, even with the new investors, in my personal opinion, they need to focus and go down the route of social. Because if they aren't going to double down on social, they aren't going to double down on influencers and double down on the online and ever expanding, rapidly changing digital space for today's day and age, I'm sorry, Forever 21, you will be a thing of the past. Now, if you guys like this video, or if you guys like what Giants Anatomy really comes down to be, we want to be doing these videos for you specifically every single week. What I want you to do is I want you to hit that like button, leave us a comment of your biggest takeaway from this video, whether it was what they did right, whether it was what they did wrong, or whether it's what you would like to see me do better for the next video. If you'd like me to break down another brand, whether it's their successes or their failures, do me a favor, leave that in the comments. Now, I look forward to seeing you in the next video, but before that, do me a favor, hit that like button, subscribe, and I'll see you next week.